Hi, everybody. Welcome to Am I the Asshole podcast. I'm Danny Vega, joined by my lovely, lovable co-host, Sarah. Sarah, how are you today?
I'm a lot better. I've been sleeping. I don't really know how, but I think I have to go to sleep like immediately when I feel tired. And
Great.
Last night I was on the couch at like 10 and I was like, I just want to close my eyes.
Love that. This is huge. Well, I'm so happy for you. I mean,
thank you.
Having sleep problems is horrifying, so this is so great. All right, guys. Well, I don't really have any juice. I was racking my mind and I don't know. I mean, I guess I did have this kind of crazy week. I went to New York and I went to Palm Springs and I did all this stuff, but
you've been jet setting.
I've been jet set. I've been busy. I mean, look, I guess I could talk about this. I wasn't invited to a wedding that I was invited to, and actually, you know what? This is interesting. All right, so I get invited.
You weren't inviting to okay.
Here's what happened. I got invited to this wedding. It was during COVID, so the wedding got canceled, and so then this person rescheduled the wedding, but they already did like a courthouse ceremony, so then they were just going to do a thing at their house. But they didn't invite me to the reschedule. And the thing is, didn't even bother me. I was like, hey, I totally get it. We're not that close anymore. Whatever, it's their wedding. I want them to enjoy it. But my stupid friend trolled me and said that I was the only one who wasn't invited to the wedding reschedule.
Was that true?
No. Oh. No. And then he was like, that was just a joke. And I was like, well, how was I supposed to know that was a joke, you terrorist? And so I was like so upset about it, just like really hard on myself. And I was like, I can't believe I'm in this situation. And the next day I called him and I was like, hey, you got to stop like telling me stuff like this because I don't want you to be an intermediary between me and this person. Like, if they got shit to say to me, I'm here for it, but like, I'm done. And then he was like, oh no, that wasn't even true. I just said that as a joke. And I was like, you motherfucker. But he apologized right away. Okay. And I was like, it's all good, bro. It's all good. It only cost me basically a night of grief that was so bad. I was like, I'm getting the largest possible deep dish pizza and just like downing this thing. So
I mean, that's not a bad outcome.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely caused me grief. I didn't really sleep that night, but whatever.
Okay.
As soon as he apologized and I found out that I wasn't the only person that wasn't invited, I was like, oh, it's whatever. Like, I totally...
Yeah, and it's just like, you just snapped out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I guess the lesson there is, I mean, don't kick people while they're down, It doesn't feel good to not be invited to the wedding reschedule, but, like, it doesn't need to be a huge deal, but, like...
Yeah, I guess I'm just impressed, but, like, confused at the commitment to that bit, because that seems like a joke that you would say, get an immediate reaction, and then immediately be like, no, I'm kidding. And he just let you believe it.
This is my friend that likes to fuck with me, and to be fair, I've fucked with him too, but not quite. I don't know.
He's a monster.
He is a little monster. He's a little monster, and he knows it. All right, folks, let's play a little bit of Guess the Verdict, where I will say the name of a situation, and Sarah will attempt to guess what the verdict is, knowing no other information. AITA for deciding what food I want to be served on my wedding.
How could you be the asshole for that?
How could you?
I know you like to trick me, but this feels like a vegan thing. I don't know. For deciding what food I feel like they have a terrible family. I'm gonna go with NTA.
NTA is wrong.
Damn it.
That said, you were kind of prescient there with sensing it was a vegan thing because it was. OP wants shrimp, stuffed crab, and grilled meats. They also included fruit, drinks, and pasta. Stepmother gets all pissed because she's allergic to shrimp and vegan, which I thought was weird. I was like, what does it matter if you're allergic to shrimp? If you're vegan, you wouldn't have shrimp,
Yeah, she can't have vegan shrimp. That's it.
So what's your point, right?
That's so funny.
OP's only offer to her was a salad. He's like, I'll set aside one salad for you. And she says that's just grass. OP is pissed and says they don't want to cater to her. Top comment.
That's horrible.
Motorcycle addict writes, ESH, she's overreacting but has a valid point, and you are not being very thoughtful at all. Offering just fruit and salad is very insulting, and I'm not vegan. 2 out of 10 for effort. Think again.
How is the mother overreacting? That seems like an appropriate reaction.
The way it was written out was like right away she was like, oh, I guess you're not thinking about me. It just felt very like snippy.
Okay. Okay.
And as a reply to Motorcycle Addict's comment, somebody wrote, well, what about the pasta? I mean, I just feel like there's a tactful way to approach this as a stepmother and be like, hey,
Okay. That makes sense.
You know, just concerned about some of the vegan options.
Yeah, totally. All right, fine. AITA for punishing my daughter for sliding this note underneath the bedroom door.
Oh my God. What was on this note? I have a hostage out here. Stop having sex. What the heck? What is going on? Why would OP? I'm gonna go with an insane, not the asshole, and the daughter is, because she was up to no good.
That was pretty insane because you were right. They were having sex.
Oh,
and the kids could hear. So the daughter, who's 14, slipped a note under the door that says, keep it down. There are kids in this house. And then the OP just kind of flew off the handle and made her, like, I guess, come in the room, and I'm assuming they got dressed, and read the note. And was like, yeah. I told her to come stand before me and read what she wrote out loud. I then responded with the, I know, how did you think you and your brother and sister got here? And then he just kind of like was saying that her behavior was out of line and accused her of throwing a tantrum and all types of foolishness. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. What was my guess? Did I guess YTA or NTA?
You guessed NTA.
Unfortunately.
Rats. Yes, the top comment was a big YTA. It says, oh no, you think this is parenting, YTA, and then some other stuff. But
yeah, also, like, please do keep it down. That's gross. No one wants to hear it. Yeah. I don't care if they're your kids or anything.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Ugh. AITA for refusing to pay for ranch at a pizza place and going across the street to buy a bottle from CVS.
This one. Okay, this is annoying because I almost read this one, but I was like, it seems like an obvious NTA, and I think what happened was the pizza place wanted to charge them $1 per, like, little cup of ranch, and they were like, there's 10 of us, that's going to cost $10. The pizza, why did I not read the verdict? And why does my brain remember this stuff? I'm just going to go with not the asshole, and that's a dumb policy for the restaurant. So they're the asshole for that.
Not the asshole is wrong.
So damn it.
You pretty much summarized it well. OP actually linked to the ranch cup. It's a 1.5 ounce cup of ranch.
Shot glass of ranch.
Which, frankly, for $1 doesn't seem too off base for me. Like, I feel like that's not a crazy price. You know, I think y'all are nasty. How many? Okay, if you're having 3 slices of pizza and you're using, oh my God, tell me you're not using tell me you're not using 1.5 ounces of ranch per slice.
No.
That's $3 extra per person. I don't think that's crazy. I really, really don't. Dr. Mindbender's.
I guess I don't either, and I don't like ranch, so I'm biased.
If you're having more ranch than that, you're nasty. I'm sorry, you're nasty, and you got to pay the nasty fee.
Pay the ranch tax.
Pay the ranch tax, you nasty freak. Dr. Mindbender's monocle writes, YTA for eating pizza with ranch dressing, but seriously, you shouldn't bring an outside food or condiments to a restaurant. So OP ended up going to a CVS and getting a whole bottle of ranch.
That's just like tacky, in my opinion.
I mean, if it's like Pizza Hut or a major chain, I mean, even so, it's like you're screwing over a franchise. Like, just, like, dude, you're at the restaurant, you're a nasty little ranch boy. Like, just, you got to pay the ranch tax. Just don't.
I'm a nasty little ranch boy. I feel like that's a good TikTok sound.
I'm a nasty little ranch boy. Have you considered just eating pizza? It's already extremely unhealthy. It's literally bread and cheese, and you are applying more dairy product to it. What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's so true. Yeah, no, just eat your pizza without the ranch if you have to be like that.
I'll basically dipping your bread and cheese into milk. That is, you are horrible.
It's not
Please
even,
stop.
I feel like it's like oniony milk.
Cream.
Ugh, I hate ranch.
Whole cream, basically.
I confess, I really do not like ranch at all.
I like ranch a lot, but if you're adding it to pizza, you need to look at yourself in the mirror and realize you can afford $3.
You know what the real crime is with that situation too, was that the restaurant already gave them like garlic aioli with the pizza. Now that is like...
They didn't like the garlic sauce.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing.
A crime. So I feel they're already the asshole for that.
Yeah, they definitely have bad taste.
It's bad taste. So wait, what was it? ESH?
It was YTA.
Oh, it was YTA. Okay, yeah, I'm with that. AITA for refusing to return the $600 gift I bought for my mom for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm saying YTA. Why wouldn't you return it?
Yeah, damn it, you're right. Thought I would get you.
Yes, got one, folks. Finally, it's been a while.
Oh, he's back on top. Basically, this OP is like a maniac. They bought a $600 necklace for their mom, which I think is weird to do. Anyway, spent it out of their joint account. Also, the wife works and OP does not work. And yeah, that's basically all you need to know. So that's pretty wild. The top comment was, YTA, money spared is spared, what am I saying? Money shared is exactly that, shared. You're in a partnership, you can't just spend the shared money willy-nilly. So,
Fair enough. Sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, folks, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Please rate, review, and subscribe. We've actually got some really sweet reviews. I know I said I would stop reading them, but they were good and nice, and people were nice to me, and so why not?
I'm glad to hear that.
You know, why not? 5 stars. I started listening to the pod a couple months ago. I used to think Danny was annoying. This is as best as it gets with me. I used to think Danny was annoying, but with each episode, you start to like him a little more.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, I fucking hate Danny, and now after 100 episodes, hey, you know, he's okay.
You know?
Thanks a lot, Katie. We appreciate it.
I love
More meals. More meals. That is a top 25 username if I ever heard one. 5 stars, consistently refreshing ethical takes. Wow. What a little headline. I'm somebody that tends to binge a pod, then abandon it for months at a time. So it says something that I've been listening to this pod every week for a year and a half.
Oh.
It's lighthearted, passionate, serious.
Wow.
And like a fine wine, this podcast has only gotten better with time. I love the consistent format, the banter, the guests, the verdicts, the deep fives, the discussions. The consistency highlights the personal journeys and emotional growth of the hosts, which is where the podcast really shines.
Yay.
Danny and Sarah are never stagnant in their opinions. Although passionate, they listen to each other and to listener feedback. Danny may be known more for missteps than for Sarah, and it's been said before, but it's truly refreshing to hear him admit if he should rethink his takes. Folks, I'll always rethink a take. Submit. Yeah. I wouldn't want to listen to a podcast in which the hosts are absolutely certain of their correctness all the time. If Danny's emotional...
Can you imagine?
Right? That's
being
disgusting.
that sure of yourself?
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
If Danny's emotional honesty and rawness doesn't soften your heart, then, well, I guess you're a different person than me.
Aw, that's great.
So great. If you're reading this, Danny or Sarah, your drive is incredible, and you deserve every penny and more from the Patreon. You two are crushing it. Try a few episodes before passing judgment. Give it a chance. Sorry that this review is longer than an episode. P.S. Throwback to some cookie-related content.
Oh, yes.
I'm from Kansas City, but lived on the East Coast for 5 years before the pandemic. Did you know there are 2 different manufacturers of Girl Scout cookies? The cookie names are the same, but the cookies you eat in the Midwest taste different and better than East Coast. Try a Thin Mint comparison. Wow, OP. We need a documentary about this.
I feel like we have to. I didn't know that because I knew that they had different names in different parts of the country.
Yeah, crazy. Wow, what a review.
That is amazing.
That is a veritable gem and a half review. Thank you so much. Also, a big thanks to our new patrons, Kate, Purple Pigeon Fur, Allison, Diana, Leslie. Welcome so much to the Patreon. Please join us on Patreon. We got the WhatsApp is always a source of fun. We've got happy hours. We've got our little Zoom stand-up show. My brother did the Zoom stand-up show recently. Spent some time roasting me. Told a classic tale of when me and my buddies pointed at him while we were standing on the trampoline and laughed at him, making him cry. He was 5 years old.
Oh.
He just walked outside and I was like, everybody laugh at my brother. And we just laughed at, and he just started crying.
It's a good bit.
He has trauma that will never heal. All right, folks, our second story of the day, AITA for not refusing to give my son the name my husband wants to give him. Okay. But first, AITA for going to a work party after calling out sick. And this is a mutation, isn't it, Sarah?
It sure is. I got really into askamanager.org. First of all, I'm like, why is it .org? This website is kind of bootleg WordPress, but whatever. So I'm temporarily running this career-focused Instagram account. It's called When's Happy Hour. So I got really into Ask a Manager. Yeah. So long story short, I don't know why I needed to make that a story, and I apologize already, but I decided to mutate this situation from that since it was pretty direct AITA status.
A lot of people were very riled about the last manager story where the guy was a monster. People hated that guy. I got messages about that. Here we go.
Why did you get messages about it? No, you're not the guy.
No, people just being like, oh, I hate that guy.
Oh, yeah, he was the worst.
I get a lot of messages about UPS to this day. I still hate UPS, guys. I still hate UPS. I might declare
influence.
a new enemy. I might declare a new enemy soon. We'll see if my healthcare insurance provider, they better watch out. They've awoken a sleeping giant. Here we go, folks. This situation happened several years ago at a company I've already left, but I still find myself thinking about it from time to time and wondering if what I did really was so egregious. I was working my first job out of college at a fast-paced startup. My team, just me and my direct supervisor, okay, so literally two of you, had a big deadline set for the Friday just before the holiday break. This happened to be the same day that our company holiday party was held. It was a fancy party in a rooftop bar of a skyscraper downtown, and all of us younger employees were really excited about it. We realized at the beginning of the week that we weren't going to meet the deadline due to several unforeseen issues with production despite pulling 10 to 12-hour days. My direct manager said we would have to push the deadline to after the new year and made it clear she did not expect me to come in over Christmas. I came down with a nasty cold and ended up calling in sick that Thursday and Friday. By Friday Eve, I was feeling a little better with the help of Dayquil, and I decided that I was well enough to stop by the party. I was a bit nervous about going to the party when I had called in sick the same day, but my, also young and inexperienced, coworkers assured me it was fine. I showed up, said hello, and had exactly one drink and headed home. I found out after the holiday break my grand boss was furious that I showed up to the party after calling in sick and had expected me to come in over Christmas to make up the lost work. She wanted me to be fired over this incident. My direct supervisor had to go to bat to keep me on. When I got my performance review for this review for the year written by Grand Boss, okay, it was scathing. Weird. I've never heard of Grand Boss before.
I've seen that a lot in Ask a Manager Land. It's just like your boss's boss. It's kind of silly.
That's really funny. Yeah. Just say your boss's boss. Why would we bring grandparents into it?
I know.
Because that just evokes that whole, like, your family. You're part of the family here.
Ew.
You're part of the Enron family.
It's also like, I guess I think it's weird that your not direct boss is like writing your review, but whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
insane.
know how companies work.
No, my indirect boss doesn't even talk to me. Okay. Here we go. When they got their review, it was absolutely scathing, said they were irresponsible, lazy, undedicated. I was denied a bonus. My direct supervisor said she did not agree, but there was nothing she could do. I felt blindsided. I left the company not long after. The environment was toxic, and I'm thankfully in a much better place now. Looking back, I can see how bad the optics are to call in sick just before a deadline and then show up to a party the same day, but I still don't think it's a fireable offense. Am I looking at this all wrong? How bad was this really?
Oof. I mean, it's interesting to kind of examine this from pre-COVID times because now I feel like if you even go somewhere and you knowingly have the sniffles, people are going to jump all over you. So
yeah,
I feel like pre-COVID times, and I definitely was like this, where you're not even getting other people sick is not even really a concern. It's just like, oh, do I feel well enough?
Right. We were like, whatever, they'll live. Actually,
seriously,
I have a thing. I have some extremely mild juice. I'm a huge hypochondriac. Yesterday, I took a run, and I do my run shirtless. So I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm getting ready to go for this date, and I got like some bites, and I've been bitten by a bug in my sleep like a month ago. And I had what looked like kind of a string of bites, and I was like, I have bed bugs. I got bed bugs. I have a huge bed bug infestation. There's bed bugs all over my body right now. I'm like freaking out. I'm looking under the mattress. There's really no signs of bed bugs anywhere. There's usually like, I guess, some kind of marking. There's really no marking, but I do have this like kind of line of bites. So then I go to pick up this girl, and I was like, I need to be honest with her because I'm a host for bed bugs. They're swarming all over my body as I speak. So like as she approaches my car, I was like, stop, do not touch the car.
Halt.
Do not touch the car. There's a chance that I have bed bugs, and I just want you to know this, that if you get into this car, I could give you bed bugs.
Was this as you were leaving that you discovered it?
Yes, it was
like,
literally as I was leaving, and I was
okay.
like, whatever, if I have to drive back because she doesn't feel comfortable, then no big deal.
Okay.
And then I tell her that, and she just starts laughing hysterically and just walks around and gets in the car. She's like, you're insane. You're such a hypochondriac.
That's so funny.
And then I forgot there had been, so on our first date, we were there for like an hour, and then we walked around, and she started coughing, and I was like...
And you're like, no.
I can't be around a coughing person. And she's like, are you serious? And I was like,
oh my God.
Then I realized that I had a lot of her ice cream, and I was like, I guess if you're sick, I already have it. And so then I was like, all right, whatever.
Oh man,
She's
no,
like,
that happened to me
yeah.
with the bed bug scare. Because I was at this outdoor bar and got these like insane mosquito bites, like they were like steroid mosquitoes. And it was mostly on one leg, but some of them were in a line because I don't know, I only have so much like leg real estate, I guess. And I put it on my Instagram story, and like enough people convinced me that it was bed bugs, even though the friend that I was with also got these huge mosquito bites. That I went out and got those like square things that you like put under the mattress to try to trap bed bugs to see if you have any. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, but that's interesting.
Oh yeah, it was interesting. I got them on Amazon. So yeah, no. Long story short, I didn't have bed bugs, obviously, because like my roommate would have it, my apartment would be in flames.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank God. Anyways, back to the situation.
I'm like, how did we get here?
Quite a deviation.
Yes.
I mean, look, I think the the first part about this is, is this a fireable offense? No, I don't really think OP did anything that bad. But I think was this stupid? Yes, this was extremely stupid.
Yeah. This is definitely like a dumb move that I could definitely see myself making early in my career when you're just thinking about the party.
Yeah, I mean,
and not the optics.
Exactly. Optics are unfortunately part of life. And what is an optic? I don't know. I guess I kind of have to think through this, right? And optics really come into play when people don't know you. When people don't know you. If people don't know that you're a good person and they don't know that you're a good worker or whatever it may be, and you say some kind of dumbass comment or do something that makes you look like a dumbass, they're just going to assume you're a dumbass because you haven't built any goodwill with them.
I mean, clearly, this person did that, so yeah.
Right? So
I guess I think just in general, like, even if people know you, I think there are certain things where you'd still want to be concerned about the optics. Like, I think in this situation, even if this person was, like, a veteran employee, I mean, maybe the response from the grand boss wouldn't be so, like, over the top, but I still think it would be, like, a side-eye moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously... So the sort of premise that you're suggesting here is, like, I'm too sick to go to work, but I am able to go to the party. Like, even if you barely go to the party, like, that doesn't really... You still showed up. You sort of asserted your values, which were the party matters enough to go for a bit, but work doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's going to land
totally
like a fuck you.
Yeah, no. And I totally get how that's totally real. Like, you could be... I mean, obviously, Dayquil is a miracle drug, but... Not really. But, I mean, I understand how you could really not be in a headspace to be like working, but you could be like, oh, but I could stay for an hour and talk to people. But it's like you said, it really just makes you look like, I don't know, not a good worker. And like you value the party more than your job, which we all do, but you just can't let that on.
It's a bad look.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
I think it's tough. I think you can get in these situations. Every place I've worked has always been like, this is a startup. Even if it's not a startup, they'll be like, we work like a startup. We're lean and fast paced. It's such a...
Yeah, we just don't hire people and like throw a million things at you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, most places I've worked are trying to extract as much possible labor out of you as possible. So personally, like, I fantasize that if I had a company and someone did this, I would be chill about it. But like, it's just not a good look, frankly. I really find it very hard to defend this because, like, there's just no way. Unless you directly got clearance from the person it matters to, but like from the higher up's point of view who doesn't directly know you. But like, I guess, let me say this. If it was their direct supervisor and then you called and were like, hey, I'm kind of up to go to the party, but like, I feel like that's weird because I didn't go to work. Like, do you think I should go? Because you have that kind of relationship with them, then sure. Mm-hmm. But like, otherwise you've got to err on the side of not looking like a total ass.
Yeah. I mean, I will say though, it's not a good look to do this on Christmas, right when bonuses come out, but like to have that so badly affect your performance review and like not get a bonus, that just feels really harsh. I kind of hate, like, sometimes with just, performance reviews, things will get brought up that as like a blight against you that weren't even brought to you as like an issue.
Yep.
I really think that if you're going to use something as a mark against someone, that you need to bring it up and give them a chance to fix it before you hold it against them.
100%. But in this case, it was crunch time. This is a big
Yeah.
deal. You happen to get sick. Like, you know, and part of that is being unlucky. But then to show up at this party, you really just made it seem like you didn't care. And
Totally.
that's part of the game. And like, you know, unfortunately, like work is very political and,
Yeah.
you know, and it does sound like in this case, like, you know, even on a more human level, because, you know, I think we're pretty firm about employee rights and like don't err on the side of the company. Don't be like that. But like just as a personal thing, if someone kind of like was grinding all night, like to make up for the work that you couldn't do legitimately, that doesn't feel good for you to show up like that on a human level, not even on a company boss man level, like just on a like, yo dog, I like grinded hard and now you're showing up to have a fucking whiskey on the rocks. Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, that's completely true. It's just like, that was not a good move.
That wasn't a good move. That wasn't a good move. You know, does it make you an asshole? Yes, I think it does. I think this is a no-brainer. You know, what are you doing?
Is it an ESH? That's my question.
I mean,
was the boss's boss like over, what's the word, like out of proportion?
I guess. I mean, just the thing is, like, okay, the thing about this is a big deadline. This is, you know, for a big deadline before the holidays. People are putting in 10 to 12 hour days. OP misses 2 days, you know.
Yeah, that's not great.
I'm saying, you know, it's not ideal. It's really not ideal. How they acted, it's far from ideal. I don't know. I'm wondering how long OP had been at the company. Were they there a full year prior?
It seems like they were kind of new.
I thought they were kind of new. Know. I got that impression as well, but I'm looking here. Yeah. They say it was their first job. So honestly, I am ultimately going to come down, I think, ESH, because you're right. If you get a performance review, I don't think it's fair to punish someone and to take away their whole bonus over one incident, which frankly, I can see how it was hurtful, but you know, I think sobriety, I mean, you shouldn't be making any of these decisions out of emotion. You know, it sounds like OP was a good employee otherwise.
Yeah.
You know. And then OP did leave the company, so it sounds like it was kind of toxic anyway, which is no surprise. As you know, I'd like to believe that if I had a big company, that I would be just like, yo, you know, I wouldn't slap their performance review. I would just say like, hey, FYI, a lot of us were staying up late last night, so for you to show up just kind of felt like a slap in the face. Just human to human.
Yeah, I mean, like you would say something to be like, look, in the future, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes things are human to human. Why we gotta throw it in the performance review? Like, just keep it real for a sec. It's, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually even say that you could include that incident in a performance review, but like, what it seems like this person just suddenly got an out of the blue negative review just because of this one incident. But like, number one, I think this is a big enough like mistake that it could be noted, but I also feel like it could especially be noted if it was to point to like a larger pattern of OP just kind of like dropping the ball at the last minute. I think that would be completely fair, but to kind of like retaliate against them for making a really dumb choice is just honestly almost immature. Like, you're the big boss, you should kind of, I don't know, be mentoring people and teaching them what to do and not just like retaliating against them.
True. And for that reason, AITA for going to a work party after calling out sick, I think we agree. Everyone sucks here.
We agree.
All right, guys, thanks for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe. We really appreciate your support. AITA for not refusing to give my son the name my husband wants to give him.
I think that was a typo in the title, because OP's definitely refusing.
Okay, AITA for refusing to give my son the name my husband wants. Well, this post isn't going to be as dramatic as a lot of the other ones. I'm using a throwaway because people I know in real life are aware of my Reddit username. Well, now we know an insane person is writing this. Anyway, hey guys, I'm Danny. My Reddit username is what? Why are you telling us? Anyway, all you really need to know is that my husband, 36, and myself, 31, are expecting a son, and we're having disagreements over what to name him. I want to name him after my dad, who died in the Gulf War, to honor him and his sacrifice, while my husband wants to name him Lucius after Lucius Junius Brutus, an ancient Roman politician who led the revolution that founded the Roman Republic. Well, I hate this couple. Now, I know it sounds ridiculous, and I agree that it is, but to my husband, Lucius Junius Brutus isn't just some dead guy, My husband genuinely looks up to him and has devoted a significant portion of his career, he has a PhD in classical history, researching him and his life. He's got a book that's going to be published sometime next year about him.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. The thing is, not only do I just not like the name, I also don't want to name my son after some rando who died 3,000 years ago and who no one today knows ever existed other than a handful of historians. I want to name my son after my father to honor him and keep his name alive. Right, you just said that, OP. My husband and I had a big argument a few days ago about this, and he's very up in arms. He considers it his hill to die on. The main point in his argument is that as a father, he should get equal rights in choosing the name of my son, and that if I refuse to name him Lucius, then he refuses to let me name him after my father. My husband has also pointed out on several occasions throughout the talks we've had about it that he compromised when we got married to drop his surname and take on mine, and says that it's my time to compromise and to let him name my son. He has generally said I can give my son whatever middle name I like. I won't lie. I don't really see myself as the asshole here. While I do agree that my husband should get a say in what I name my son, I don't see how that means that I can let him give my son such a stupid and outdated name. Anyway,
Whoa.
AITA.
Oh, yikes. I think the fundamental problem here is that the OP thinks that if she gets enough internet strangers on her side, then she's going to be able to pick the name.
Yeah, I mean,
That's not good at all.
The way that she thinks that her thing is so perfect and foolproof and then his thing is so stupid, it's honestly, they're both pretty ridiculous, and I don't necessarily think how you should approach naming a child so selfishly.
Yeah.
It's all about me.
Because then also you're going to have your son have the same first and last name as your dad, and that's got to be a weird legacy to put on a kid.
Very weird. And the dad has passed, so he's not going to know. So this really is just about you. This is one person's thing that they want versus another person's thing. I think they're both obnoxious. They're both obviously not hearing each other. Not a fan of dad either. Oh, you compromised when I took the surname. Shut up. Well, she hasn't made any compromises since. Give me a break. This is the only compromise.
But also you don't get to make a compromise and agree to it and then throw it in somebody's face later.
Yeah, I mean, you either had to make this deal earlier or not. And it sounds like you didn't. So you don't get to use a previous concession like that.
Yeah.
This is, and by the way, this is not really something, the naming of your child, I believe you should both meet in the middle. It's time to be adults. Find a name you both like.
Well, I think the problem is that these people think compromise is one person giving up when it needs to be meeting in the middle. You giving up your last name isn't really a compromise. I think that's more of a sacrifice / an agreement. A real compromise is I feel if you hyphenate, and similarly here, someone compromising is not just being all right, fine, I'll go with your idea, but it's them finding a new name or figuring out a way to shoehorn both of them in somehow.
Please don't do that. Please give your child a relatively normal name. I think that is...
Listen, I don't like either name, but... Oh, I don't know what the dad's name is, so that's not really fair of me to say. But, I don't think you should name your kid Lucius Brutus Judas. What was the third thing?
Lucius Junius Brutus.
Yeah, absurd. No.
I think... Look, and I might get in trouble for this, but I'm curious what you people think. I think you should give a kid a relatively normal name. Something that doesn't rhyme with any dirty words. A relatively common,
that's hard to find.
Popular name, a good standard name. Don't give your kid a name that's about your shitty personality. That's mean and selfish. Oh, I want to name my kid Ford because I like Ford truck. No, that's not okay. That's not a good reason to give a human being a name. What was the Twilight one? I want to name my daughter Bella. I can't remember.
Renesmee.
Renesmee? That's not a good reason.
No, I agree. I think too many people just think their baby name gets to be a little billboard for their interests. And it's you have an Instagram. Get a MySpace if you want to do that.
Yes. Have you considered telling people you like it? Have you considered? Why? Don't put that mark on your child, you strange little freak.
I will say, as someone with a boring name, it was definitely a point of not a pain point, but something that was annoying growing up. Still kind of annoying, but I would rather... Name. It's fine. It's just everybody has it. You can't have a nickname for it. I feel there's no personality there.
I got a nickname for you. Sarah Bear.
Oh, God, I hate that. That's worse.
What are you talking about?
I take it all back.
People love
So
Sarah Bear. I got a super standard name. And now I think my name is great because it has a lot of variants.
Yeah, see, that's
You know,
fun. I have none.
That's true. That's
we
true.
love a variant.
We got
My parents literally like opened up the book and were like, what are the 3 most common names of 1991? And they're like, Emily, Andrew, Sarah, boom, done.
No, you're right. The lack of variance with Sarah is a problem because you really get to pick your personality. It's kind of like you got to pick your Pokemon at the beginning of the game where there's 3 Pokemon. You could be a Daniel, and a Daniel generally takes himself a little more seriously.
Yes,
your lawyers, your
serious.
business Daniels, that's kind of where those guys go. The Dannies, I feel, we're silly, you know.
Yes.
It's not that big of a deal for us. And in general, I think that's true about E-names, Katie, Danny. You know, we're silly. We're silly billies.
Yes.
You know.
I feel like a Dan can go either way. A Dan is like serious. Like I feel like he's responsible.
Yes. Dan's can be serious, but they're usually a little bit drier for some reason.
Yes.
And they tend to be strong. There's a lot of strength in the Dans.
I agree with that.
Dannies respect Dans more than we respect Daniels. We kind of look down on the Daniels because we're like, that's the out of the box name, so maybe you need to evolve a little bit. You just went with the factory setting there. Maybe.
Time for an update?
It's time for an update.
Yes, I'm with that. I love it.
So.
But we can all agree that Lucius. I think the other problem is that everybody's going to think it's a Harry Potter thing.
Oh, is there a Harry Potter? Who's there?
Yes, Lucius Malfoy. And he sucks, so don't fucking name your kid after him.
Wait, is that Draco's brother?
His dad.
Oh.
So don't do that either.
Yeah, actually, there was a big thing in the WhatsApp making fun of her because she's a TERF. Somebody posted a stand-up bit making fun of JK.
That was a good bit.
What was the bit? Was that a lot of Harry Potter is about Harry?
It's about like people being in other genders assigned bathrooms, and like so much of the books are like Harry bothering Moaning Myrtle in the girls' bathroom.
Oh, Moaning Myrtle.
And yet, yeah, throwback.
I forgot all about the Harry Potter stuff.
It's come up a lot for me recently, and like I don't even know why. I've only read the books one time through each, so.
Yeah, I like that golden snitch. I always wanted to catch that golden snitch. That could be fun. I don't know, and the Quidditch, that always seemed fun to me.
Yes, that would be fun.
You know what? This is oh man, I forgot about this. Made me so mad. We would always try to get money. You could ask the college for money for your little improv team or whatever you did in college. Oh. Okay. So we would always ask for money to do what, you say? Well, to perform comedy for people, to perform comedy for individuals in other states or whatever, you know, to go do our art. And the stupid college always said no. And I think they said no because we didn't fill the paperwork out correctly at all, which is fair. But they gave the stupid Quidditch club, the people who are pretending to play Quidditch, like $20,000.
Why are you saying it like that?
How do you say it?
Quidditch.
Whatever. I hope you get hit with a bludger. Is that what it's called?
Okay.
A bludger?
I think so.
There's the snitch, the bludgers, the quaffle. The quaffle. Now, the quaffle. See, quaffle has very, very Dan energy. Anyway, this has gone on too long.
Yeah.
Speaking of magic.
We're going to get roasted by the Harry Potter fans.
HP, Magic Maui Wowie. That's a top 50 username for me. YTA, simply for continue referring to quote unquote my son. You don't see you and your hubby as a team. You don't see him as a full parent. And you denigrate the name your husband has a lot of emotional attachment to, as stupid and outdated as it may be. I wonder if you think his career and interests are the same. Dislike the name all you want, but your husband is reacting more toward your controlling and self-centered attitude and his role in you and his baby's life than he is the actual name. This is your baby together. Grow up and start being a good parent by respecting your partner a little more. Well, I agree with that, except I'm seeing the same thing from him.
Yeah, like I don't think I guess I don't think that this is not about the name. Like I do think it is one of those situations where no, it is.
Yes.
He's not just like using it as a proxy of like, oh, you don't care about my career.
Ridiculous.
I think it very much is about this name.
No, they're very stuck. They're very stuck on this, and they really can't see out of this. Now, we do have an ESH-NAH paradox. Rock this writes, I'm a little stuck between ESH and NAH. Both parents need to be okay with whatever name you give a child. By the way, you're part of the Harry Potter generation. Anyone that meets someone named Lucius is going to assume he's named after Lucius Malfoy, especially if he has really light hair. There you go, Sarah. That's what you said.
Ooh, the blonde. Yeah, I guess I don't really see how this could be NAH, honestly, because they both really are acting childish. I can see it being an ESH, and I don't really get why everyone on Reddit is coming for this person and also not realizing that the dad is doing the same thing.
Absolutely. Okay, wait, I guess I misunderstood here because Simney69 writes, YTA, your husband already compromised with the last name. I guess I didn't really put it together that since he took her last name, the kid also gets that last name. So now everyone's under her last name. So she kind of already won the last name.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying before, is that the kid would have the same exact name as the dad, which I think is weird.
Oh, okay, I didn't fully put that together.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't just mean the same first name. People do that all the time, but...
Nonetheless, I still really agree with Cake Eating Rabbit. That's a top 50 username as well. Why not go with your husband's name? Or sorry, ESH, you're both being too stubborn. It's 2 yes or it's a no. I think that's really true. It's got to be 2
yes,
yes.
1 no.
I don't feel like you should ask her to compromise on this one. Or not compromise, but sacrifice her just because you gave her the surname. I think you both need to be in on this.
I mean, I completely agree. You're going to be calling this kid this for the rest of their life.
Ugh, God, forever, people.
Or until they turn 18 and change it. You know?
Yes.
One or the other.
And I'm annoyed. To me, there is no paradox here. I'm annoyed with these people.
That's what I'm saying. There isn't an NAH option for me at all.
No, it's time to grow up, folks. Enough.
Yeah.
Enough with the history. Let's give this kid a good name, something normal, something like Daniel. It's timeless. Hey, I don't need it. I'm just saying it's there, folks.
Oh, man.
Joshua, maybe so.
Be like a Josh.
Josh, everybody likes a Josh. That's got a couple variants. I think, look, Sarah and I think we're very pro variant. Don't give them just a stock name they can't do anything with. You want a name that can be kind of have some aftermarket parts on it. It's nice.
That's true. I'm trying to think of other names that don't have a variation option that are common. Hannah. I guess you can go Han.
Han. Emily. Oh, you can do M. You can do M. I like M or Emma.
We call my sister M a lot. There's not that many.
Megan has Meg.
Megs.
I guess you're right.
Meggie.
Sarah is particularly stubbornly there. There's what are you going to do? Sarah Bear, it took me years to come up with Sarah Bear and you hate it.
H, right? You have an H, you have no H, but
it doesn't even matter.
Nobody can hear that.
Nobody can even hear it. It's crazy. Elizabeth has Liz, Lizzie.
Elizabeth has a lot of options.
I'm a big Elizabeth fan. I think if I have a daughter,
Elizabeth is a good name.
It's classic. It's
It
classic.
is a classic
And
one.
I never knew a dumb Elizabeth. They're smart. That's a smart name. Are you with me?
Yeah, my biased account. Yeah, I don't know.
They can be a little mean, but that's okay. I'd rather have a smart, guaranteed smart at the cost of a little mean. That's fine.
Operational, cost of doing business.
Is there something not astrology, but just for names, just names or everything?
Oh, for
sure
sure.
there
I
is,
feel
right?
I don't know, there's the Jessicas and the Ashleys.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
You know what I
I
mean?
can't advocate for those names. Those are dangerous
No,
names.
I'm saying those are the Scorpio Geminis of white girl nomenclature.
AITA for refusing to give my son the name my husband wants to give him. I think we agree. This is an ESH.
Yes.
Folks, please rate, review, subscribe. Much love for you. We're going to wrap up here. Patreon.com/AITA pod. Please join us. We'd really appreciate it. We just hit 110 patrons. I think we have 85 bonus episodes up, weekly happy hour, etc. Please join. Just support us. It takes a lot of work. Folks. AITA for being upset that I'm not invited to my best friend's wedding. My BFF, who I've known since high school, is getting married. I was asked to be a bridesmaid, but because of COVID and visa things, they decided that they would just have a family at the ceremony and have a party at a later date. I was happy with that and totally understood keeping it small. Then she tells me they're having a few friends in roles. So one friend is a photographer and he will be there as the photographer. That makes sense. But then she tells me that my ex from high school, who I dated for 3 years, is going to be there to sing. He's a singer in an indie band. I was upset and I didn't hide it well. The thought that he'll get to be at my best friend's wedding ceremony and I won't makes me feel very sad. And honestly, it's a bit of a slap in the face, as they could have had any other musician. When I told my BF about it, he said I was being silly and there was no reason to be upset. I've said that I'm fine with it because it's their day and it's not about me, but honestly, I feel really sad and don't really understand why they would make that decision. AITA for feeling like this was not very cool of them.
That's interesting. I would like to know the ages, because if they're 23, I would say interesting, you might have a claim there, but if they're 29, I'd be you need to get over your high school ex.
That's true. Yeah, no, I mean, the distance from it is definitely a factor. I mean, look, I really think that, here's the thing about weddings. People get hurt. People just get hurt. People don't get invited. They don't get hurt. It passes. They'll get over it, and I've learned this lesson, and it's been great to learn it. And I had to tell myself this. I had a friend who didn't invite me to her wedding, and I was all butthurt about it. But you know what? In the end, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was one night where I probably wouldn't have seen her that much anyway, because it would have been her freaking wedding. I would have had 2 conversations with her, if that. If that! And now we've hung out so many times since then, and I know she's my friend. And so it's just the kind of thing where it's like, look, if you want a relationship with someone, then you can make that relationship happen by reaching out to them, by bringing them into your life. And if they don't invite you to their wedding, like, actually, you could take that as an indicator, OP. And I'm talking to myself here too, because this just happened to me. This just happened to me. I had a horrible night where I binge eat all this deep dish pizza. And I was like, you know what? In the end, to me, this is a signal that this person just doesn't value our relationship that much. And that's okay. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's where they're at. And frankly, I was like, that's okay with me. And I didn't feel the need to chase them or pursue them. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, yes and no. I think in this case, because it's a COVID wedding, like, you really have to not take it personally.
Absolutely.
And even with weddings in general, like, there's so much politics. They're so expensive. And, like, half of those people who are getting invited could just be like, oh, it's my parents' fucking cousin from Nebraska, or like, oh, this person invited me to their wedding and we don't even talk that much, but like we went 3 years ago and now I have to invite them. And there's so much of that like kind of stuff that, I don't know. I wouldn't take it too personally, but I understand why OP feels salty. I mean, I've felt salty about weddings before and then I got over it. So I get why they feel that way.
Yeah, OP. I feel for you. I think Sarah hit the nail on the head here. It's not about you. Maybe they wanted the indie singer to sing because he's a good singer. They like his singing, or you just don't know.
Maybe he's cheap.
Maybe he's cheap. It could be any myriad of reasons. And like I said, I mean, I'm really kind of doubling down on this. Just like, look, in the end, if you're offended, you can always reach out to them and try to make this relationship happen, because that is kind of the cool thing about not being invited to someone's wedding, because if you realize and it hurts you, then you're kind of like, damn, I guess I did want to be closer with them. I wanted them to hold me in closer esteem.
That's a good point.
It can be good to have a realization like that.
But I guess I want to get your advice on this, but I feel like you can't ask them why you weren't invited.
Oh, no. You
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Why?
I feel like that's a faux pas to do.
Yeah, it's just not going to play in your favor. In the end, they had only very few slots or whatever, limited resources, whatever. There could be any myriad of reasons you weren't invited. Maybe, whatever. There's also the factor of their partner. Their partner might have some kind of qualm with you. You never fucking know with these things.
Yeah, that's true.
But in the end, you're still free to pursue them and make a friendship happen. And that, I guarantee, will be more meaningful than one stupid night where literally everyone is there to celebrate them anyway. And that's it. It's not that big of a deal.
True.
AITA for being upset that I'm not invited to my best friend's wedding. No assholes here. No one did anything wrong.
Yeah.
I'm here for you, OP. I'm sorry that happened. It sucks. It hurt a lot.
Same. It's a bummer.
It hurt a lot.
Yeah, it sucks.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And I love you all. And we'll see you next Monday morning.
Bye.
Bye.